The Last Leaf by O. Henry. A story that talks about hope. It's a story that talks about real friendship. A story that focuses on the theme of selflessness and sacrifice. The Last Leaf gives a very important lesson that willpower is more important than medication if a person wishes to live. The story revolves around three main characters: Johnsy, who has caught pneumonia, her friend Sue, who stays by her side no matter what, and an old artist, Berman. Let's begin. Toward winter, a cold stranger entered Greenwich Village. No one could see him. He walked around touching one person here and another there with his icy fingers. He was a bad sickness. Doctors called him pneumonia. Here, in the first paragraph of the chapter, a character has been introduced. But it's not a person, it's a disease. Pneumonia. Pneumonia has been personified here and has been described as if it were a living being. Pneumonia arrived in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is located in New York City. And in this area, someone arrived. And it's not a pleasant visit. It's a visit by pneumonia, a deadly disease. No one could see him. He is an invisible visitor. He walked around touching one person here and another there with his icy fingers. This tells us that a large population was affected by pneumonia in Greenwich Village. He was a bad sickness. Pneumonia had affected quite a number of people there. Well, the very opening paragraph tells us that pneumonia has got to play a very important role in the story. Mr. Pneumonia was not a nice old gentleman. A nice old gentleman would not hurt a weak little woman from California. But Mr. Pneumonia touched Johnsy with his cold fingers. Well, another character has been introduced here. It's Johnsy, who has been affected by Mr. Pneumonia. She hails from California. Well, Mr. Pneumonia is quite rude. He's not a nice old gentleman because he has touched Johnsy with his cold fingers, and now Johnsy is suffering from pneumonia. She lay on her bed almost without moving, and she looked through the window at the wall of the house next to hers. Here she refers to Johnsy, who has fallen sick. When Johnsy first appears in the story, she is seen laying in her bed, still and motionless. This tells us that she is extremely sick, and she looked through the window at the wall of the house next to hers. There's a house next to her house, and through her window she is seen looking at the wall of that house. One morning, the busy doctor spoke to Sue alone in the hall where Johnsy could not hear. Oh, this is not a good sign. Why is doctor talking to Sue out in the hall? Is Johnsy not well? Yes, the doctor takes Sue out in the hall so that Johnsy must not be able to hear what he has to say about her poor health.